Check out ProBoxingSupplies.com, PowerPerformanceProducts.com, and you're watching MMAinterviews.tv.
This is the lean, mean fighting machine version of Ronda Rousey. This is the best shape I've ever been in my entire life, and I'm going to scare the crap out of Miesha Tate at the weigh-ins, and even worse at the fight itself. It says that women's MMA still has a lot of, fans, and it can draw a lot of people and a lot of attention. And there's a lot of potential there that I think has been very unrealized up to this point. And I'm very glad that the women are being given a chance to prove themselves. And I'm sure that this is going to be a great fight with, great showing and great ratings. And I hope that we get these chances more often. I think her game plan, she probably thinks that her best chance is to keep it standing because no one knows what my standing is like, and they probably assume that it's bad. She'll probably think that because of her wrestling background that she'll be able to stop my takedowns, which I don't think is possible because she doesn't have any idea what I do. Because I have a very unique and unorthodox style that is very hard to prepare for. She has very little footage to study from me. And so I think what she'll probably try to do is to keep it standing as much as possible. And if it goes to the ground, to try, stay on top and do a lay and pray until it's time to get back up, and she'll try and win on points or something like that. What Miesha has that I will give her credit for is her experience does show in that she keeps a very cool head. She's very slow paced in her matches, but you can tell that even if she's very behind, she's very calm. Even if she's getting hit or beat up, she's very calm, So one thing I would say about her is you can't count her out at any point in the match, no matter, who's ahead or who's behind, So she's very durable in that way. And, she's got that kind of indomitable attitude where, I feel like I would have to be consistently dominant for the entire match and not be able to relax at all because, she doesn't get anxious. She's a very calm fighter. I bet her striking, I bet her takedowns, I bet her transition, definitely better on the ground. I think that anywhere the fight goes, I have an advantage. I think that even if we fought a wrestling match, I'd beat her in wrestling. I'm just more of an athlete. Even before I did judo, I was on the Junior Olympic swimming team, and I was swimming 5 times a week since the time I was 6. I'm just an athlete, and she's some chick that decided in high school it'd be cool to wrestle, and a few years later decided it'd be cool to do MMA. This has been my entire life, and in comparison, this is just a fad to her. My coaches like to keep me in kind of like a Rocky IV cabin environment. Even when I was doing judo, I would actually put up in a cabin in New Hampshire where I'd be alone and not able to go anywhere during that time. It's easier to focus, and plus I'm closer to everywhere that I train, so I don't have to drive as much. And I don't know. It kind of makes it easier to get in that mindset of you're about to fight instead of, you're at home and everything's normal. Because I'm training like this all the time. So changing your environment is a really good way to, change your mindset and behavior. So we just we did that for this camp to make things easier. I've spent a lot more time wrestling in this one. We have a lot of people, shooting doubles and shooting for the legs and, just doing a lot of defensive stuff, doing a lot of wall drills, getting a lot of push up against the wall and stuff like that. I've done a lot of working from the bottom on grappling as well. So, I'll be very prepared for, those are all her strengths. We've been working on, getting better than her in every area that she's good. I face wrestlers all the time. And even in judo, I would face wrestlers all the time. I train with wrestlers, high-level wrestlers, probably more than she does. I train with world champion and Olympic medalist wrestlers, several times a week. And every move that you can do in judo, do in wrestling, you can do in judo. The Cuban team, they're very well known for shooting doubles and stuff like that all the time. And now the rules have changed, but whenever I was competing, everything that you could do in wrestling, you could do in judo. So I've been grown accustomed to that my entire judo career. And, she can think whatever she wants. She probably has to tell herself something like that to make her think that she has some sort of advantage, even before this fight happened, I was like, dude, I should fight Miesha, not Sarah Kaufman. And they're like, why is that? And I said, because just make the 2 hot girls fight. Who wouldn't want to see that? It's marketable. It's just, I thought it was just so obvious. I don't know why everyone just said that I said this, that the sky was red or purple. It's just, two girls that are good looking that can really fighting. I mean, it's just like seeing like two Xenas go at it or something. Like it's like Superwoman and Wonder Woman going at it. I mean, isn't that cool? Wouldn't anyone want to see that? In the very beginning, she was like, well, I think Ronda's only getting the title shot because she's pretty. And then later she's like, and then she was like, oh, I think that, it should all be just about, just sports and all that and and while she was saying this, her Twitter profile page was her like in booty shorts, which I thought was pretty hypocritical. And then later she changed her mind. She was like, oh no, Ronda's getting the title shot because she talked her way into it, and it's an entertainment business, so I understand, and so she pretty much did like a full 180, never admitted she was wrong and that I was right. And I think whatever, she changes her mind. She doesn't stick to her guns at all the time. She just seems to have a very kind of like weak and malleable personality, So I mean, at least through all this, I keep saying the same thing the whole time. I haven't changed my mind or anything that I said. I'm like, this is what I think, and I'm sticking to my guns, and that's it. I guess it surprised me a little bit. I mean, I know how much better I am, but I didn't think that everybody else would share that because of my relative, inexperience in MMA. I thought that I would be very underestimated in this fight, and I still think 3.5 to 1 is an underestimation, but it's still I thought that it'd be a little bit more even. We'd be able to make some money on this one. If I was the underdog, I would have bet my entire fight purse for sure. But I don't know. We still might bet my purse. We'll see. Chad Waterbury has been doing my nutrition, and it's been awesome. I'm like, what was it? I'm like 5.5 pounds over right now. And we have like a week and a half left, right? A week and a half to lose 5.5 pounds. I mean, I could make weight tonight if I wanted to, but we wanted to make weight, very slowly and carefully. I've been pretty much doing all my sparring, all my training very close to weight, around like 6 or 7 pounds over this entire training camp. And so I want to be able to be used to my body being that light and everything like that. And my endurance is great. It's better than it ever has before. My joints are so much better, because I've had arthritis since I was 19 years old, and I've just seen like so much improvement in all my joints and my speed and agility and all that. And I actually think that 135 is probably a better fit for me, like in the long run. So we'll see what happens, but I'm very happy with this weight cut, and I'm very happy at this weight. After the fight, I'm gonna have buffalo wings and apple pie a la mode. It's like hot apple pie and cold ice cream, because I love having my desserts be like 2 different temperature, like I like the hot and the cold together. It's good. And buffalo wings. I miss buffalo wings so much. Something about buffalo wings. Why do you got me talking about food? And I've been like on like the super like regimented like diet for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's like talking about junk food is like some mythological creature to me right now. I can handle it. I can handle anything. If I could fight with 9 stitches in my foot and flesh hanging off from a pit bull bite a few days before, if I could fight with my knee locked into place because my meniscus tore in half and flipped over, like doing a little bit extra press it pales into comparison to a lot of the stuff I've done before. So, it's extra things to do, but, a little bit of multitasking and help scheduling is fine. Her saying I'm not deserving for this fight, she should take a look at the odds. I mean, if I'm undeserving, why am I favored? And if I'm undeserving, why is this the biggest women's MMA fight, it's been in a long time? She just doesn't want to say that I'm right. That's pretty much it. There's all evidence to the contrary that I've been right all along, and she just will not, straight out admit it, which, it's fine. She doesn't have to admit it. I'm going to walk in favored, and I'm going to beat her, and I'm going to win, and she can deny it all she wants, but it's evident that I've been right all along. No, she won't talk to me. She won't talk to me at all. I've tried talking to her. I'll walk in the room like, hey, it's my best friend. Stuff like that. Her and her little boyfriend, Toady, both ignore me together. They're both like, Like, Jesus, dude. Like, come on. All right, fine. I mean, they take it all they're very personal. So, I mean, I get it. I can't really fault them for it. But it's a little funny to see them be, like, snooty together. It's like snooty in stereo. I never predict. I never know. Like I told you before, I've done matches where I made up things on the spot. When I did that flying armbar thing against Sarah D'Aleo, I never trained that once in my life. I leave my mind open to see, and it's really weird, hard to explain it. Like, I don't record memory when I'm fighting. It's like, Like you do something and then I know all the possible reactions and it like narrows everything down. So I'll do one thing and then she'll react in one of the possible ways to react. And then I'll know, okay, that's one of the reactions I was expecting. These are all the possible things I could do to respond to that. So I'll pick that one. And there's only so many ways that she can react to that. And it kind of just narrows itself down until it comes to some sort of finish. We don't have direct game plans. We just leave myself open to improvise. And I think that's what makes me a really good fighter, is I'm able to make very fast decisions. Everyone says, oh, I'm so quick and my transitions are so fast. I've just been drilling this stuff for so long that it's that thought process of going. If you ever read the book Blink by Malcolm Caldwell, it really explains it very well, how people think without thinking, and lead athletes really drain that in, kind of pound that into themselves. Also, another book is called Outliers, where it talks about people that are extraordinary in certain areas, and he talks about like things like 10,000 hours or something like that to become an expert at something. And I guarantee you I have many more hours in martial arts than Miesha does. When I was doing judo, that was my main advantage, with my conditioning and my pace was what I used to wear people out. I'm so happy that the rounds are longer, because then I can maintain that and I can wear the other person out. Like she talks about being in good shape, but her pace is much slower than mine. So I think that she'll have a lot harder time, keeping up if I maintain that pace the whole time, which I always do. Ryoko Tamura, who's now Yoko Tani, who was one of the most famous judo players ever. And one thing that she said that I always held to heart when I fight, and she said she always fights as if it's the last 5 seconds of the match. And so every single time that I fight, if you watch any of my judo matches, watch every one of my MMA matches, every 5 seconds is like it's the last 5 seconds, and my pace doesn't change and at all. So what people have seen in the first 1 minute of my match is going to be exactly like the first, like the last minute of a 25-minute match, So people can doubt me all they want, but when they see it, if I'm forced there, then they'll know for sure that I don't stop. My pace is always the same. I mean, I understand why she doesn't like me, because I started it on purpose. I mean, and she said some things that are really annoying, but I mean, I can't really make an accurate judgment about her as a person if the whole time I've known her, I've been purposely trying to bug her, So, yeah, she said some things that are annoying and, I don't like. But what do you expect? I started it. So, personally, I don't know. I can't say that I can make an accurate judgment about her. But from what I've seen from her so far, she seems really annoying. But maybe if we met under different circumstances, I wouldn't think that way. Freerice.com. I have a account on freerice.com called Ronda MMA. That's our group. And since I'm cutting weight and I'm hungry all the time, we thought it would be a really cool thing to do, like a donation thing for hungry people. So freerice.com is a website where you just answer random questions, like vocabulary questions or multiplication or Spanish vocabulary, like anything pretty much. And for every question you should get right, the sponsors that do the ads on the top donate 10 grains of rice to like the World Hunger Fund or the UN Hunger Fund, something like that. So we're already at like 15 million or something like that grains of rice. We've fed thousands of people, and we've already done a couple giveaways. Our last one is going to be on March 3rd. My mom was going to take like a snapshot of like all the top 10 donators. And then also we're going to pick like 5 random people that just donated anything. And we're going to send like the first ever, like, rowdy wear clothes and punch of posters and stuff to all the people that have donated. So get on freerice.com and make sure you're on the Ronda MMA group, or else your grains won't count towards the contest. Gaspari Nutrition. Thank you very much. You guys rock. Citizens of Humanity jeans, those people are also cool. Bossrutan.com, Boss is the man. Make sure you tune in March 3rd to Showtime at 10 p.m. where you're going to see me and Miesha Tate have the most exciting women's MMA match I think the world has ever seen. You don't want to miss it. You want to be able to brag to your friends that you were watching the night that it happened. Don't be that guy that's later on YouTube.